Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about my acne journey and what I did and just kind of my story. So to start out, I'm gonna probably just talk about like how I started getting acne and like how long I've had it. So I actually started getting acne when I was 17. It was the beginning of my senior year. Like before the age of 17, my skin was super clear. I never really did anything special with my skin. I never even cleansed it with cleanser, never moisturized it with anything, and then boom, I started getting acne. And I didn't really know where it came from. It was just came out of nowhere, to be honest. So that was really scary for me. And as someone who's never gotten like skin problems, and my parents have never dealt with acne either, I just really didn't know like what to do. And if I'm looking down, it's because I have like notes on my iPad. Starting from like senior year, I got like 1 or 2 like per week, and then after that it just spiraled down to like 10, and then my forehead was covered with it. And I'll also insert pictures so I can show you how they really looked. And then so it got really bad in my forehead area during senior year, and that's really when I started considering doing more skincare related stuff. So I started moisturizing my skin, cleansing my skin, and things of that sort. But it kind of gotten better since I've gotten a routine, but then it just really didn't get that much better since it started getting more acne every day. And then eventually when I graduated high school, I had acne on my skin during graduation, and it just wasn't fun at all. When I got into college, that's when it really started getting worse. I started getting really big acne. So they were the ones that had like pus in them, and they actually like hurt when you touch them. So my face was like hurting, and it just, every time I like brushed my hand over my face, it just felt very uncomfortable, and I did not like that feeling at all. Things were not going well, and my acne just kept spiraling, and it got really bad during sophomore year. It was all over my face, and it was very noticeable because like the bumps were there, and my face was constantly aching. It was constantly in pain, and I just didn't know like what to do at that point. And eventually I went to a dermatologist, so that was definitely a life-changing experience for me. And now I am here, 21, and my skin is relatively clear. I would say I have not gotten really bad acne for about a year, almost 2 now, and it's all thanks to my dermatologist. That's a little bit of a background of my acne story and my acne journey. And now I'm going to talk about what I used to help with my acne. So when I first started getting into skincare, Korean beauty was really in at that point, and I was really just doing a lot of extensive research, like Reddit, YouTube, all those things that you can name, and I found some products that worked, or supposedly was supposed to work. And I started using a cleansing balm, an actual cleanser, and then I also used toner, essence, and then lotion, moisturizing lotion, and an eye cream. And that was a lot of steps, and I actually purchased all these products and started using them, and I did see a difference in like a month. I felt like my skin was a lot more plumped, a lot more moisturized, but at the same time my acne was not getting better. So I just felt like the excessive skincare was not the way to go. I do believe that Korean beauty and Korean skincare does work, but it did not work for my type of acne, and it kind of did make it worse. It kind of worked for a month, and then it started spiraling back, and then it started getting worse again. And then I started using more expensive skincare because I thought that would help. Little did I know that doesn't help. And I started buying a lot of skincare from Sephora and just those expensive websites because I was like, oh my gosh, if they are very expensive, that means they have to work, right? But they don't work. Sorry to break it to you. And I spent like hundreds and hundreds of dollars on those skincare products and didn't do a single thing for me, unfortunately. Pivoted again into using more natural skincare. When we talk about natural, I don't mean like no chemicals, no those things. It's just like very clean ingredients in terms of like just using pure oils like jojoba oil or rosehip oil, of those sorts. And I started using jojoba oil to wash my face. That was a really big mistake. It's really good for your skin apparently, but it just didn't help my skin in any way. I started washing my face with it and it was just really tacky and hard to take out. It didn't have the same effect as the cleanser balm that I was talking about that I bought from a K Skincare type store. I did start using coconut oil at one point and that was a really big mistake. It actually broke my skin out way beyond than what I thought it could do. It was just a combination of these things just irritated my skin even more, and I had some of the worst breakouts I've ever had. I started getting red spots on my temple and that was just not a good scene and not a good idea. Funny thing is I thought I had fungal acne. At this point I have not like seen a doctor or a dermatologist about my acne, so I thought I had fungal acne because I had those little bumps all over my forehead, and I started using Head and Shoulders because they have this ingredient that is supposed to help with that, but honestly it just made my acne worse. It was a lot, it reacted in a different way than I thought it would. So it just was not a good idea to use. But if it works for you, it works for you. It just didn't work for me. Those are the things that I've used, and I would say out of my experience, some things do work, but they don't work for every skin type. So like with expensive skincare, some people might react really well to it, but my skin had no reaction or just a really bad reaction at that point, and it was just not that type of skincare that was going to help my skin at that moment, and even now, to be honest. Now I'm going to talk about what caused my acne, and as I've mentioned, I went to a dermatologist and that really changed my life. I didn't know what caused my acne. I thought it was my diet, and then started eating less meat. I started eating more clean, more greens, but that did not help at all. My acne was still really, really bad. I tried doing, started eating less red meat, I started eating less dairy, but that did not help my case, so I just spiraled back down to what I normally eat. As for skincare wise, as I've mentioned, it didn't help my skin at all. I think it had something to do with more internal, and I just really needed to figure out what that was for me. What really caused my acne, when I went to a dermatologist, she was telling me it seems like my acne was caused by bacteria, and the oils that I've used before and the amount of oils in the skincare that I used was probably what inhibits these bacteria to grow on my face, and then it just spread all around my face, causing these really huge and painful pimples that I had. Then I realized maybe I should not have tried all those skincares and spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on different skincares that had a lot of oils in them, since my skin really just didn't react well to it. With that, I just kind of took that and made sure I simplified my skincare, and I was also prescribed medication, oral medication, and also topical medication. Now I'm going to tell you what worked for me. After going to a dermatologist, she did give me a type of skincare that I should be following like a regimen, and I started using more simple products. So the products that she recommended me use was the Cetaphil cleanser. That one's really neutral and cleanse your skin without any additive properties, which is great because at that point I needed to neutralize and standardize my routine a little bit so my skin can just kind of like calm down. For moisturizer, she recommended that I use the CeraVe moisturizing lotion. This one is super lightweight, and I have oily skin myself, so this was really nice to just kind of balance that out and be able to neutralize my skin. The medication that she prescribed to me was a doxycycline hyclate, and it was 100 milligrams. I took one capsule by mouth twice daily, so I took one in the morning and I took one at night, and I took this for 3 months every single day. And this doxycycline hyclate was pretty much to stop the growth of bacteria. By taking it orally, I was able to kind of internally do that for my skin. And on top of that, I was also applying a topical gel, and it's called Veltin. It's composed of clindamycin and also tretinoin. Clindamycin is technically an antibiotic that helps treat bacteria, and tretinoin is a vitamin A derivative that's supposed to help with treating acne, and it also has anti-aging properties. So I started using this. Since it's pretty strong, it was recommended to use this once per week and then build up to every single day of the week. So I was using this 1 month into my doxycycline medication. I was using this religiously for about 6 months to a year, and it really helped in terms of how my skin felt. It was a lot smoother, it calmed down my acne a lot, and I wasn't seeing any breakouts for a while. And this also helped fade some of the acne scars and acne marks that were left on my skin after taking 3 months of doxycycline. With the medication, it does come with purging. So I was purging for about a month or so, and when I started using Veltin, I also started purging. So the purging does happen really fast and does go away really fast. For me, I think it depends on the person. It ranges from a few months to a year, and this purging was not too bad for me because I was able to apply the CC cream and kind of conceal what the acne I had on my skin. The purging was relatively painful, I would say, because your skin is trying to get all the acne out of your system, so it just all comes out at once. But it's definitely manageable, and the acne was pretty painful, but as long as you don't touch it, don't pop it, and just kind of resist the urge to do so, your skin will definitely come back to being normal after it kind of regenerates itself. So definitely be mindful of that. The process along the way was really painful, but the results after are definitely worth it. These two worked really well together for my skin. Yeah, and I'll show some after pictures here of after taking medication. Some recommendations if you do suffer with acne and you do feel really uncomfortable just showing yourself. I really do recommend this CC cream. It's the one that I used when I had really bad acne. I'll insert a picture here, and I use this to cover all my redness, all my scars, and while treatment I was also purging. So I was using this very extensively. It didn't break my skin out. It also has SPF 50 plus UVA, UVB protection, and it's also physical, so it doesn't irritate my skin at all. So I totally recommend this. And so those were the things that I used during my acne medication and treatment process. In terms of things that I use now, I am 1.5 years to about 2 years after taking the acne medication and treating my skin. and the things that I use now are very similar to what I used before, and I still use the Cetaphil Gentle Facial Cleanser that I have. It worked really well. I've tried to change that a little bit and use the CeraVe one, but that didn't react too well to my skin, so I just continue using the one that works for my skin and still is working now. In terms of moisturizer, I still use the same moisturizer, the CeraVe Facial Moisturizing Lotion. This one is super light and super gentle on my skin, and it works really well. I use it day and night. I also use a sunscreen every morning, every day. I don't use it when I'm indoors because my room doesn't get a lot of light, and it's actually like blocked by another building as well, so I don't really use sunscreen if I'm indoors, but if I go outdoors I have to use sunscreen. And the sunscreen that I like to use is the Ulta MD UV Physical. So this one is a physical sunscreen and it has zinc oxide. It's lightly tinted. It's chemical free, oil free with antioxidants, UVA and UVB protection. I really like this sunscreen. I've been using it for about 2 years. It doesn't react negatively to my skin. I really like physical sunscreens as well because they just sit on top of your face. With chemical sunscreens, they do sink in. Something that I really did discover like really recently, what has really helped was Vaseline. I've always heard that Vaseline makes you break out because it's so thick, it's gonna clog your skin, but that is so wrong. It actually is really great for your skin. So I currently use it as an eye cream. I also use it as lip moisturizing. It has helped me kind of retain that moisture under my eyes since it's a very sensitive area, and I have not bought eye cream in many years ever. This is definitely a product to have if you've gotten anything out of this video. I would say that currently with my skin, it's been a pretty smooth journey. I feel like I've only gotten 1 or 2 pimples here and there, and they're not even the very big painful ones, and that's only during my period time. So I'm super grateful to feel a lot better with to be able to heal my skin, and I just wanted to make this video to help others out if you really have gotten on a roadblock and am not able to solve your own skin problems. I hope learning about my acne journey is going to help you with your acne journey, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment them below and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And yeah, thank you for watching my video.